I'm not sure how to start this video, but it's definitely not the video that I planned for this week. I was planning to do something about imposter syndrome, but yeah, I'm feeling very autistic this week, so it's probably not the week to do that one anyway. This video is going to be quite sad in tone, so if that's not your thing, I'd advise you, just click off and I'll see you next week. But yeah, it's quite a tricky one I don't even know how to get started really. So I've had a really tough week and a tough few months actually, if I'm honest, and I wanted to get this video out today because I really like routine. I've spoken about this a few times now, and I just find it helpful to try and, carry on with stuff that makes me feel kind of safe and secure. And routine is very much part of that. So I'd like to get a video out today. So this is going to be it in some shape or form, really. And the other reason I wanted to do this video is because we often see autistic creators on YouTube put on their very best mask, and it's just not realistic all the time, is it? I'm really guilty of this, putting on a mask kind of all the time on YouTube, and it almost gives a false impression of what being autistic is like, because I'm heavily dysregulated at the moment, and I don't even know if this video is going to make a lot of sense really, but it's going to be mainly about my dog. So my dog is terminally ill, and we found out about 2 or 3 months ago, and it's been tough. And I'll tell you what's wrong with him, but I'm just going to give you a bit of an alert that if you're kind of eating or if you're a bit queasy about some kind of things, then I'd advise you to skip forward a bit, and maybe I'll put some chapters in this video so you'll know where to skip forward to. So if you're going to skip forward, I'll see you in a bit. But Jean-Paul was diagnosed with a brain tumour about 2 or 3 months ago now, and we noticed that his left eye had suddenly started kind of protruding a bit. I'm really sorry about background noise today because there is some heavy traffic and stuff going on. There is some roadworks, but I'd rather just go into a free flow if that's okay and not edit this too much. But Jean-Paul had something going on with his eye, so we went to the vets and he had a scan, and he's got a brain tumour, and the vets seemed to think that it didn't look like it would be benign. We've not done any official tests or whatever. He's just had a scan, and because of his age, it didn't make a whole lot of sense really to start having all sorts of expensive biopsies and stuff. So he's 10 and a half, so he's getting on a bit. So she seems to think that it's not benign, and at that point she gave us some medications, including some what are they called, antibiotics. So he went on those, and this all happened a week before we were going away just to the coast really for a little holiday. So needless to say, we really worried as to whether he'd be able to do it, but this medication seemed to work wonders for him, and he had a brilliant time on holiday, and it was like experiencing the holiday with a younger version of Jean-Paul. So we were really hopeful that things were doing okay for him, and things have been okay up until kind of Sunday this week, and he his eye just was looking like it was, yeah, popping out of his head, really. Well, not popping out, but, you know, certainly protruding. And yeah, he was pouring and stuff, so obviously it was causing him pain. So we went to the vet on the following day, Monday, and she said, you know, we've got two options. We can either take out his eye or, you know, put him to sleep. And, you know, this is something we've been preparing ourselves for. You know, we know he's terminally ill. And I guess I should put in this new chapter here, because we're not talking about sort of, you know, horrible things anymore. We're talking about John Paul as, you know, a little dog. So hello if you've come back. Where was I? So basically, John Paul was at the vet. We were given the choice of John Paul either having his eye out or being put to sleep, and you know, I'm just not ready to let him go. I'm just not ready. So we opted for his eye coming out. So I'm not going to show you what he looks like, because it's quite, yeah, quite a big thing, really. So perhaps I'll do a little approximation or an illustration of what he looks like at the moment. So he came out of surgery yesterday and he's back home today, and he's yeah, he's more than a bit discombobulated, really. He's yeah, not really sure of himself or what he's doing at the moment. Obviously, if you've only got half your vision, he's sort of bumping into things and stuff. So, you know, he's got to learn how to navigate his home, and we've got to navigate that with him as well. So yeah, that's where I'm at, really. And it's yeah, it's just hard, isn't it? It's just hard. I'm in a, I guess I'm in a position in my life where my life and my world is really small. Because of my MCAS, I'm home based, so I see very few people, and you know, it's our nuclear family is just me, Ian, and Jean Paul, and we do have it extended family, but from my day-to-day living or my week-to-week living, you know, that they're my world, really. And Jean Paul's like our baby in many ways. And yeah, it's, gosh, it's just horrible, isn't it? Anything to do with your pets, it's just horrible. But I think with Jean Paul particularly, he's certainly had the closest bond to an animal with Jean Paul, and I know we're going to lose him at some point. Vet wasn't able to tell us, you know, how long. You know, I suspect it will be months. It's just a weird thing, isn't it? You know, I've lost a lot of people in my life, so I know all about grief, and you know, how it makes us feel, as do many people, if not all people, certainly my age. By the time you get to middle age, you know, invariably lose people, and it feels like shit, really. But I just didn't imagine I'd, you know, feel anything like that over a little dog. But it's just, in many ways, it feels silly. But he's just become part of my world, and in a really important way. You know, he helps me get outdoors some days. He's in many ways a special needs dog himself, as are, I'd say, all Frenches and pugs and bulldogs and all dogs with flat faces. They're very often brachycephalic, which means that they have breathing issues. So you have to be really careful with these kinds of dogs, and manage their environments, manage the amount of exercise they get, and I guess we've been, a bit of a support for each other, really. Well, I just didn't want to have to make this video, really, but I guess because I'm kind of all over the place at the moment, and I've certainly noticed it in recent videos. I found it really hard to kind of just concentrate, and some of the videos requires, a certain amount of research, and it's been difficult. And this week's video would have needed a bit of research as well, so I've just not been able to do that, really. So this is what you've got instead. And on top of this, I don't know whether I'm reacting both emotionally and physically, because I'm getting a lot of ulnar nerve pain at the moment, and I get a lot of nerve pain because, well, I think it's because of my MCAS, but I guess some of it may well be related to gallbladder issues as well. I'm learning. I don't know. But yeah, it's really painful to have to type for very long as well. So I feel really bad that I've not been able to keep up with comments on my channel as well. So apologies if you've been kind enough to comment recently and I've not been able to respond to you. I do read your comments, and I'm really grateful that you've spent the time and energy in communicating with me, because I know how hard that is to do sometimes. So thank you very much, but my apologies if I've not been able to respond to those. Hopefully, as time goes on and this nerve pain eases a bit, I'll be able to put a bit more energy into responding to comments. And yeah, I don't even know if I should post this video or not, really, because I imagine it's going to be quite bizarre, but I think it's important that we see all sides of autistic people and not just their masked selves. I appreciate I've put makeup on and I'm wearing my YouTube uniform today, but yeah, I'm not really with you in mind, really, I don't think. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But I also wanted to do this video for those of you out there who also rely on your pets for emotional support. They may well help you to get outdoors, and they feel like family, don't they? And I just wanted to acknowledge how important they are, and they are. So I'm just grateful I've kind of got through this video without crying, because there's been a lot of that in this house over the last, well, a few months actually. But yeah, that's where we are, and I just wanted to let you know, really. And I know it'll feel kind of good for me to have a video out on Friday as well. So that's where we are, and I hope you're all doing okay. I'll be back next week with another video. I don't know if it'll be about imposter syndrome or something else. We'll wait and see. I'll see what I feel like doing next week, but I'll keep you updated with Jean-Paul. And once he looks a bit better and perhaps his hair's grown back, I'll share some footage of him. But for now, I don't think you need to see what he looks like. But anyway, thank you for watching. I usually say give it a like if you got this far, but it feels just a silly thing to say for this video. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.